It's time for notes. Maggie doesn't talk. Y'all know that. I don't know. That's what I had. Okay, so let's take some notes. Today's notes are going to be on multiplication. Whoa. There we go. Multiplication with the zeros trick. And then 830. Multiplication with the zeros trick. So we looked a little bit at the zeros trick last week, but we need to look at it some more because the zeros trick is a really, really, really helpful tool that we can use to determine reasonableness, that we can use to estimate, that we can use to ultimately do some pretty big math in our heads. All right, so next was your blank page, next was your whole number place value page, next was your estimation page, and then finally, our next blank page on the right will be where we start. So let's go ahead and write multiplication. And I'm just going to write W slash, that means with the zeros trick, and then the date 8:30. All right, and then once again, all of our notes, we're trying to start with an essential question, or EQ. And our essential question today is, how can the zeros trick help us to multiply? That's it. How can the zeros trick help us to multiply? All right, and then just put another line. We'll isolate our essential question. Remember, if at any point you feel like this is going too fast, all you have to do is pause or rewind. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to split our page into two-column note. One column, two column. This is a two-column note page. All right, so on the left side, we're going to look at the actual math. And you can specify actual multiplication. And on this side, we're going to use the zeros trick. All right. So we can start off with an actual zeros problem. Let's just try something like 20 times 10. Not essentially the hardest problem to do, but I want to show you an easier way. All right, so the way that we usually do it, we start off in the ones place. 0 times 0 is 0. And then we take our bottom ones and we multiply it by our top 10. 0 times 2 is 0. And then don't forget, on the second line, in the ones place, you have to write a 0. All right, for the algorithm to work, you always have to put a 0 in the second line in the ones place, because there will never be any ones in that place. All right, so let's multiply 1 tens times 0 ones, and we get 0. And 1 tens times 2 tens, we get 2. All right, so typically, we just add that, we get our answer. All right, so actual multiplication using the algorithm, we'll get 200. So let's try this same zeros trick, or same problem with the zeros trick, okay? So step 1, cover the zeros. So pretend like the zeros aren't there. So that gives us 2 times 1. Step 2, multiply non-zeros. So 2 times 1 is 2. And we'll come back